Hey, what's up? I'm Ira, and this is First Mic, where we talk to a comic about their first time on stage. Today, we got August Ulrey.
Ira, did you put away the beer?
I knew I forgot to do something. I'm gonna go do it right now.
We just started. We can't get a strike.
I don't think Marty's gonna mind. Boobies. We have this wonderful, amazing, glorious person that I'm shamelessly gonna say it. I was like, please make sure I'm saying your name correctly because it looks basic and simple, like I know, but I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. So I had you voiced send me. I'm like, is it this? And you were like, August Ulrey, and I was like, oh, thank God I was right. So much simpler than I, because like, I'm a person that thinks people's names are important. And I want to say your name correctly. So this wonderful, amazing woman was gracious enough to give me some of her time today. So we're going to use all of it. Yes. Not all of her time, all of the time that we have for her. So, so first question, I ask everybody this question. They're loud here. It's a bar. We know it's a bar. It's real. First question I ask everybody is, what was the thing or things, what made you get into comedy? Whether that's stand-up or just comedy in general?
Stand-up specifically was Taylor Tomlinson.
Okay.
I went and I saw her a few months before I went to my first local show, and I got gifted it from one of my best friends, and I just watched her, and I cried. I laughed so hard. I was it moved me so much, just to be able to just use your voice and just up there by herself in a huge theater. And so that really inspired me. But growing up, I think my family's love language was comedy. Like we didn't really, we didn't talk feelings much, but we could talk our feelings through comedy.
Yes.
So like the blow was a little bit lighter, but yeah, I mean, extended family, aunts and uncles, things like that, just always funny. I was talking to my therapist, telling her about Christmas one time, and she's like, your family sounds like an SNL skit. And I'm like, that's pretty spot on.
Yes. That part.
Yep. Yeah.
Matter of fact, let me write that down.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. That's it. That, and then just I don't know. It was something about being a truth teller. And with comedy, you can tell the truth. You can tell the taboo things. I've learned that you can't get up there and just, kind of whine and cry about things. It's got to be funny.
Yeah.
But you can still tell the truth that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
And I love that too.
For sure. No, that's pretty dope. It's funny that you mentioned like your family's love language is comedy, because I feel like I feel the same about mine, but like in like certain individuals, when we talk, like I can be like, let me go talk to my uncle and we can actually talk serious. Yeah. But then when it's all of us, it's a show.
Yes. It is a show.
It is a show. In some way, it doesn't matter who is leading that day, it is a show. So that's so, I relate to that so heavily.
They're characters for
They're
sure.
100% characters.
Yeah.
Well, but what's funny is like, I don't think people realize, like some people are like, oh, how could you do comedy, or how could you write comedy, things like that. But people pull from their real life.
Oh,
like,
I do all the time.
As you should. Otherwise, it's not relatable.
Yes.
And then it's not funny.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's, I can't remember who said it, but we've had multiple, it's, side note, it has been great to have multiple guests on this show. Am I right though? Like,
oh yeah.
Like, so anyways, I say that to say, somebody else had mentioned how when you're starting out in comedy, whether you're actually young or whether you're just young to comedy, you have this innate thing to just be like, I'm going to be funny and say the edgy thing and catch jokes and it's going to be fun. And people were like, oh yeah, you're funny, but that gets old so fast. But then once you're actually like relatable and you can talk about your own experience, that like you and I we don't have anything in terms of our experiences in life that are the same, except that we're human beings that live in Columbus.
Pretty much.
Actually, do you live in Columbus?
I do.
Okay, so
yes.
we got that in common.
Yes.
And white men are our enemy.
Hey, you said what I can't say.
As the white man packs his stuff up and walks out. Anywho, but my point being, white men, keep watching. It's fine.
Yes.
Relax. There's a white man that's also behind the bar. He's not offended.
I almost came in and said, can I make a black joke? And I said, don't. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And he fucking
He turned the lights off on us.
a white guy did it. Son of a
White guy
bitch.
did it.
It's a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy.
What's that?
For those that don't know, that wasn't Brandon yelling. Brandon doesn't get that loud.
All from you or F
That's
There it is.
Ask Xavier. That is John, one of the wonderful people that helped make this all happen in terms of it being here. If you heard me say multiple times, thank you, Rehab, our official, unofficial sponsor. That's John. John is that person. Anywho, New York over here interrupting us.
That's right.
Goodness. I don't even remember what I was saying now because I had to talk about Whitey. He threw up his fist. That counts as a positive. Sorry. Anywho, but my point being that we come from very different experiences, so there's no way we should be able to tell the same jokes on stage or even just tell the same stories. Like,
Right.
even if we go through the same thing, I feel like the story is going to be different in some way, shape, or form. So
Yes.
I don't know. I think that's a really important thing. But going into the next question, side note, I love that Taylor Tomlinson is like 3. You were like, I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like thinking
Yeah.
about you and her, I see similarities. Not like you're stealing her style, not that at all, but like just a similar vibe. And I'm like,
Yes.
like you said, I was like, oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Some inspiration. That's the best way to put it.
Yes.
For sure.
Her religious upbringing, her being, diagnosed with, everything that she's been diagnosed with and having to figure out medication. But she's not even my favorite. My favorite is Nikki Glaser.
That's fair.
Because she just is like, how can I make this as awkward as possible? And talking about myself and oh man, she's my favorite. But Taylor, I was really like, I think I can get up there in a ponytail and do it.
I'm trying to. Have I ever seen her without a ponytail? Now that you say that?
Right. I think that's like one of her things. It's
Yeah,
like she
I'm not-
brands herself that
I'm not
way.
mad
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brandon, write that note down. Look that up. Taylor Tomlinson, no ponytail. He's not writing it down. He don't care. He's texting his wife like, "What are we eating for dinner tonight?"
Right.
Respect. So next question. What was you tell me whatever version of it that you want to, but what was your first time on stage like? How did it go?
Okay, so I had found a comedy show in about April of 2023. A lot of local comics that you probably interviewed them. But I was just like, what is this? And so I just started talking to them and they were telling me about it. And then I would just go to open mics because I was being a cheapo because I was like, I want to see comedy for free. Why not? Let me go to these open mics,
Right.
And like,
She does have a ponytail down. Sorry to interrupt.
that's like the first time I've seen her without the
Whoa,
ponytail.
Her hair was down. Actually, hold on. Insert picture here. Thanks, Brandon. You're awesome.
Funny.
Sorry, go ahead.
But,
Open mics because they're free.
Yeah, open mics because they're free. And I just asked all these questions. The first one that I actually went to was at Crescent Lounge off of Bethel.
Okay.
And it is still happening. Tony Wallace hosts that. And he's a young gentleman. And I talked to him a lot. And he's just like, finally, he's way younger than me, like maybe
Yeah, he
12
is.
years younger than me.
Yeah, he's
And
super
he
young.
just said to me, he's like, just stop being a wuss. Just get up there. Like literally said that to me. And I'm thinking like, you're 22, hosting this. Like, I need to stop being a wuss. I need to get up there. So I did his mic for my first mic. I was like, I want to be cute. So I go up there in heels, skirt. And I even remember just my legs just shaking in these heels. Like I was freaking out. And for some reason there was like 30 people in the audience. And I was like, this is not a typical open mic.
No.
Open mic's like maybe 8 people and then the rest are comics.
Right,
And so yeah, like I'm just like, what is this? I talked about hating men and dating, of course, duh. Like, well, I mean, easy topic. I think like some comic told me that's like the starter kit of girl comics is like
Word.
talking about relationships. And I'm just like, but I love it so much. I feel like I'm talking to my girls, making them laugh. This one woman was sitting there and I just said, I was talking about dating men, how it's hard. And she literally walked up to the stage, stopped me in the middle of my set. This was my first mic. She hands me a $10 bill and says, honey, it'll get better. Oh, because I said I couldn't afford therapy. That's why she did that. And then later after the show, she's probably like 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And after she said, she's like, yeah, I'm actually on a date right now and it's going terribly. And I'm like, yes. Yes. And so I like, that's my audience. There she is.
Yes.
But that was my first mic experience. I still get nervous like that. And I hate it when I am on stage till this day and I feel my nervousness. It's usually when I go up there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell this joke, just this joke in this order. And then I do it and then the audience is just not reacting or like they're not paying attention as much. And that's when I just like throw the table over and I'm just like, all right, we're doing it. We're going off the rip here. And so, but that's something that I've had to learn like from doing it from years and things like that. So yeah.
I, having witnessed you flip the table over, not literally. I mean, I've never seen you flip the table, but having witnessed you flip it, I think that, and this is something I've mentioned before, is that you still have a structure though. Like you still have things you're at least pulling from. You're not just like, this small piece is funny. Let's talk about this. Like I mean, I've also seen you do a lot of crowd work too, and it works well for you. But you're not just pulling it out of thin air. You're making it happen from something you've actually worked out or you're trying to work out. And I think that's where some comics get it wrong. Is like they focus so much on just being like, I'm just funny, so I'm just gonna be funny. I'm like, that's not how it works, my friend.
Right.
So yeah, I hear you saying like you're shooting from the hip, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah. It's the way I write my comedy is like they just pop in my head and then I write them in my phone. Pop in my head, write it. Whatever it could be, it just I write it. And so that's how I write my comedy. But yeah, it's almost like you get up there and you're like, no filter. Like, let's do this no filter. Because when I try to filter myself, that's when I'm not funny. That's when, that's also why I'm scared to do clean comedy because I'm like, I don't want to do this.
I like the word shit.
Yeah. I like to talk about penis.
Penis. You said every letter in that word. I didn't even know you could penis. Goodness.
Many other words too. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely get where you're coming from because when you feel, I mean, even if you do clean comedy, if you feel like you have to censor yourself in some capacity, then it makes it harder to do what you do. It makes it harder to be authentically yourself because you're changing who you are to fit whatever the crowd might want or whatever you think the crowd might want.
Right.
Because that could be totally off. You could be like, what is she doing? Why is she making these clean jokes? Like, well, I just saw a bunch of middle-aged white women wearing church hats, so I figured y'all want to clean it up. They're like, bitch, if you don't say that shit.
Right. Yeah, and that's huge. It's the audience, flipping things around. Like, what do they respond well to? What do they not respond well to? But yeah, no, as a woman doing comedy, we definitely we get told like this is good, this is not good. We don't even ask for feedback, but we get it though. But sometimes it's appreciated. Sometimes I'm like, get out of my face. But you got to be strong as a woman.
Sure.
Like it is mostly men. It's dominated by men. So if you ever grew up, as a woman, like being able to hang with like the boys and stuff, I think you do fine.
Yeah.
Just don't date any comic. That is it. It's like dating a coworker. If it doesn't work out, then you still got to see each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you don't know where they're gonna be, and I don't know. But as a comic, I love other comedians so much. It feels like my community. It feels like where I'm supposed to be.
Sure.
So
yeah. I'm gonna push back on you. It is your community.
Yeah.
Because you're in it, and you do things like you mentioned your show. You mentioned Vicious Vixens, but that's something to help cultivate and grow the community and give something to the community that they can feed off of, use, be a part of, observe, all those things that go with comedy. Are you here to talk smack too, sir, behind the scenes? He's nodding his head no. This is the quietest I've ever seen. This is another, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to put him out there like that.
Were you cast in Duck Dynasty?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't see him. That's a long beard. You can braid that thing. Yeah, I bet you have.
We
flannel.
With the flannel.
Duck hunting.
Yes.
Oh, Chris Stapleton. Only if you could sing like him.
I can't. My hair was here too, so.
Ooh.
Interesting. Oh yeah, your actual hair, not your beard. For those that don't know, that's Yost. Not that you know who Yost is, but I do. I love that man. He's glorious. We hug every time we see each other. Real masculinity.
That's right. Yeah.
Cheers. I can't cheer. I don't have anything.
Everybody
Cheers
needs
after
a hug.
this. Yes. No, I love that you mentioned coming back to you, the more important person right now. Seriously. Yeah. I mean, side note, I love to give my guests their props because
Right.
you're here and you're here.
Yeah.
Nobody's here to listen to me talk. They like hearing me ask questions and then
Yeah.
say things that lead to another question. That's why I'm here.
Mhm.
But it's interesting hearing your perspective as a woman because I don't have that at all.
Right.
I have the perspective as an outsider looking in,
Mhm.
wondering, really, a toilet flush? Really? Generic. That was a deep moment too. I was getting there. And the toilet flush, this is a comedy show, I guess. You didn't hear the toilet. Damn.
Your interactions with all these sounds is going to be hilarious because
For those that didn't hear him say it, because you can't hear him say it, my interactions with all these sounds is going to be hilarious because nobody can hear a goddamn thing. Quote Brandon.
We're talking to ourselves here.
Talking to
Laura.
myself. That means you couldn't hear Yost either, could you? Damn. There's no way you couldn't hear John. 100. John's from New York.
He's from New York.
You can hear John outside right now. He's not talking. That's why you can't hear him. Anywho, back to our serious moment. You're fine. You can cling around. We can't hear it. I'm talking to myself again. It's a bar that nobody's hearing. Love it. Another side note, so many side notes in this one. I am very excited to hear and see the people who enjoy how many times I look off camera to nothing. Because there's going to be those people that are like, I love when Ira does that. It's just so funny. One person made my mom. It's my mom.
we're going to set up a behind the scenes camera. So when you look off, you realize you're not looking.
I'm talking to people. I swear. There's bartenders that come in and do their job because it's the middle of the day. So they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I mean, I am. I'm wild. But
Oh, I can tell. That's fine.
that's part of
We
us.
need you.
Just nobody there. Ira's talking to himself.
That's so funny.
Anywho, back to our serious point that I've been trying to get to. As an outsider looking in, I see the awkwardness that can come, the awkwardness that comes at you just for you being a woman, no matter who you are.
Right.
And I'm always interested to see, like, one, how do we keep that from happening if we can, or at least keep it to a minimum?
Right.
And two, how do we make it so that you don't have to be, like, you brought this up as a really good point, and I totally agree with you. Like, you mentioned the point of, how did you say it? You said something like, if you can hang with the boys and, like, you can do your thing. Like, you know, which, like, I agree, but also, like, how do we make that not have to be the thing?
Right.
You know?
Right. The thing is networking and being friends with everyone. I shouldn't say, at least in our community, it's a pretty good mix of, there's a lot more women coming in. There's a really strong female comic community within our community.
Yeah.
Then maybe I kind of should take that back because I like hanging out with the dudes.
Sure.
I'm a Kill Tony fan. I am not your typical female comic that is, you know, I support that. I agree with that. But at the same time, like the people that I like, let's say, take for instance, like Josh Albert, like his type comedy, those were that, like, he went to the same school district that I grew up in. It's like that type of man is what I grew up with.
Yeah.
I thought men were like that they just say whatever they want, did what, and let's be real. It wasn't until, like, what, maybe 2012, 2014, women actually started to push back, and then it really crushed when the Me Too movement came in. I remember thinking back then, like, being in my young 20s and stuff like that, just hearing about, you know, the misogyny, the sexism, the things like that. It was strong and nobody cared. And so I made the decision then. I said, I'm not going to let, you know, like, any man run me, tell me what to do, things like that. But at the same time, I'm going to use my benefits.
Yeah.
I'm going to use what I have in order to get ahead. To answer your first question, what women can do. Women can realize that when they get in, they need to figure out where they're safe, you know, where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And they need to go to those places.
Yeah.
when I have felt uncomfortable in certain spaces, I have went to the men directly, and I'm not saying women should do this. I'm
Sure.
not saying that there's a reason I have Vicious Vixens is the name of my show. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ruthless. I'll cut you. I'm Regina George. Like, I'll hurt you verbally. And a lot of the men that I thought would protect me and stick up for me when men were making crazy comments, and that's fine because they do it on stage. I'm all for on stage. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care at all. But once you get off that stage and you start saying you're sexually harassing, you're threatening physical violence, thinking it's funny, that's when I'm like, no, this is off limits.
Sure.
So I've went to the men that I've trusted and yelled at them
Word.
for not sticking up for me in certain moments. I think that no dog on these male comics, but I mean, they're so funny and I love to be around funny men, but there's a reason they're doing comedy. And there's a reason they're doing comedy. They don't feel good about themselves.
Sure.
And a lot of us in depression is real and things like that. And so the males that I've met in comedy are a different breed. You have to be like self-deprecating because it works.
Yeah.
Like when I'm self-deprecating, it works.
Yeah.
And so it's just, they're a different breed. So that's why it's like, but when you first come in as a woman, they all want you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa, this is a lot of attention at
Yes.
once. And I was like, what's real? What's not real? None of it's real. None of it's real. It's all fake. But I suggest for the women, just be friends with everyone.
Sure.
Just network and find your safe space. I think this is what the next question you have for
Sure.
me. I don't know about new comics and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We can
Dive right into it. Yeah.
So like new comics, my thing is just show up. Go to mics as much as you can, get used to the stage, get comfortable up there. I'm telling you right now, you're going to love the community, but you're also going to hate it at the same time. You are not going to get accepted into our community fully and loved until you're about 2 years in comedy.
Yeah.
Because people won't mess with you. Like these comics, this is what they do every single week, day in, day out. You come in and you do a few mics here and there, you're a joke to them. You're
Right.
nothing to them because this is what they do.
Mhm.
And these people, men, come in and they do these open mics and they think they're hilarious and they think they're just going to get all this attention because their buddies think they're funny. Like,
Yeah.
no, you walked into funny. You
Yes.
walked in like, yeah, you were playing college ball. Now you're like pro.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Everybody's good.
Yeah, everybody's good.
Yeah.
We know how jokes work. Like when I first got into comedy, I would cry, laugh, and it would be, oh, it's so funny. Oh. Now I just study it. Like it's hard for me to really like, ha ha, like really go at it. Because I've just learned the workings, the inner workings. I know how the sauce is made.
Yeah.
And so now it's more of like an equation and it's listening to the audience. And
Yeah.
that's what I have to do as hosting now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I love that you brought up that you look at it like an equation, like you study it while you're watching a joke, like, because I'm sure that there's been plenty of jokes that have had the crowd like it's just dying, just killed, but you're like, ooh, okay, I like, okay, and you break down in your brain why. And this is just me being who I am. I'm an actor, like that's what I do. So whenever I'm watching a commercial or TV or whatever, I'm like, oh, interesting. And other people were like, that was such an amazing performance. And I'm like, no, it was, but like, here's why it works. So I love that it's like the same kind of thinking, and just breaking that down. Stuff that people don't understand.
Art connoisseurs, like
Yes.
we break it, like it's just a certain form of art. And that's the thing that everybody's like, oh, stand-up comedy. Well, I mean, there's people that are funny on TikTok. There's people that are improv funny. There's people are just, there's tons of different types of funny, but
For sure.
stand-up is just a certain lane and it's a certain art form. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's funny thinking about like how stand-up is its own lane, because like you were saying, like people were like, the guys, he's like, man, all my buddies think I'm hilarious. I'm like, that's cool. Translated on stage, it's not the same. Could you be funny with your homies and funny on stage? Yes.
Yes.
But it doesn't always translate. And I
Yep.
think people sometimes forget that. Another thing you mentioned is how the community here is like, you got to put in like a solid 2 years. And I think that's warranted though. Like, cause if I'm an audience member, which I mean, most of the time I am, but as an audience member, like I want to see people who've been putting in the work and making some things happen, because then that's funny, that's entertaining. And then I'm also kind of, if I go to enough mics, whether it's open mics or whatnot, just any show, then I'm seeing like the progression of this person grow. And then if you're
That's my favorite part.
Agreed.
My favorite part.
Agreed. One of the things that Brandon and I were talking about, it would be awesome for us to start going to open mics, pull somebody off stage when they're done, and then do this.
Interview them.
And then I don't know what, a year, 2 years later, interview them again. I'm
Please
like,
do that.
so it's just, it's not that we don't want to. It's just one, we gotta work our way through these episodes.
Yeah.
Because we love this show. This is our flagship show, and we're very proud of it. But the other thing is, we got to do it. Like, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes late nights to go be able to make that happen. And then we gotta hope that this person sticks with it long enough.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a gamble for us as well, which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
It isn't a bad thing. It's just, how do we discern who's funny, who's not? Or not who's funny, who's not, because everybody's gonna be funny, but who's gonna have that longevity and make that happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You don't have to talk offline about how we can make that happen.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Her eyes lit up. I don't know if y'all saw them, but I said that
it.
she was like,
I
oh.
love it. That's so well, because I've gone to comics and I've said that too after their set. They appreciate that so much. I was like, I've seen the growth, and in a lot of comics are too prideful to tell other comics that. It's like, no, like, support one another.
Yeah.
And that's even if you don't like the person. It's like, you don't have to be best friends with these people, but the respect, and if you get on stage, you're respected. Okay.
Sure.
You at least have the bare minimum. Even if you go up there and bomb, someone's still going to give you a fist bump and be like, good job. Because you did it.
Because you did it.
And that's what I love about the community, is like, even if they don't like you, things like that, they'll still be, and that's networking too.
Yeah.
So, and that ties all in with that. So,
yeah. I feel like I might have said this every show or every other show, but I'm all about community building, and I really want this community to grow and develop. I have a couple, we have some nemesis. We have people that we're fighting against. They don't know we're fighting against them. Other cities, in terms of like building comedy, because not because we think they're doing a bad job, we think they're doing a great job, and we want Columbus to actually get the highlights and the accolades that it deserves for comedy. And I don't think it's there yet. So that's another reason why I'm doing this and highlighting people like you.
Yes.
That being said, highlighting you, where can people find you on social media, the internet, all that stuff?
Instagram, TikTok is Augblog, so AUGG blog. And then just Facebook is August Ulrey. Those are kind of the social medias I'm doing right now. Sticking to those avenues.
Respect. Love it. Thank you so much. This has been great.
This is so cool. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I love talking about comedy. And
sure.
like, people ask me these questions all the time, and I'm just going to be like, go watch the interview I did.
See what she did?
How'd you get in?
That was
Well, just go watch the podcast I was on. You'll be fine.
Yes. Watch it again if you have more questions. Just rewind. Or comment. Maybe she'll say something. Probably not.
Yeah.
She don't got time for that. No, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, we got to work on some other stuff together for sure.
Yes,
make some
I'd
stuff
love
happen
to. Yeah.
from a producer standpoint.
Yes. I need all the help with the producer stuff. Anything to make my life easier there.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening, you should also be watching, unless you're like, not able to physically watch, then just play the YouTube video and listen to it again. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to, I feel like I switched the order. I don't know. Thank you to Rehab Tavern. Ain't nobody looking at me. There's nobody. Of course, now there's nobody in here, and I want to thank them personally. Thanks to Rehab Tavern for being our official, unofficial sponsor, housing us, letting us live here while we're doing our thing. Yes. Thanks for watching First Mic. See you next week. Right, Brandon? Right?
Yeah.